Okay, so to begin this lesson, you need a pencil and your workbook. Remember, if you don't have a pencil, you can borrow one from the box by the door, but you need to leave your lanyard, and at the end of class, pick up your lanyard, put my pencil back. Your warm-up is on page 314, okay? It says prepare. Rewrite each fraction as an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 100. Your denominator is your bottom number, so my fraction is going to have a bottom number of 100. If I have 1 over 10 and I want a denominator of 100, I have to go from 10 to 100. To go from 10 to 100, I need to multiply by 10. So 10 times 10 equals 100. If I multiply 10 times 10, I need to multiply 1 times 10, okay? 1 times 10 is 10. So my equal fraction, 1/10, is equal to 10 over 100. Okay, you are going to do number 2 and 3. Okay, you should set a timer for probably like 2 minutes, okay, to do 2 and 3 by yourself. Okay, after the 5 minutes or the 2 minutes, however long you got for the warm-up, your answer, 2 over 5. If I'm going from 5 to 100, I multiplied times 20. 2 times 20 is 40, so you should have gotten 40 over 100. Down here, if I'm going from 20 to 100, 20 times 5 is 100. So if I do 20 times 5, I need to do 3 times 5, which is 15. So you should have gotten 15 over 100 there. Okay, on the next page, it says, this is page 306, by the way, page 306, please. It says shower heads come in various styles and allow different rates of water to flow. The rate, gallons of water to time, is different for 3 different shower heads. So we have a rate of water for an amount of time, okay? It says the first shower head uses 20 gallons of water every 5 minutes. So I'm using 20 gallons of water for 5 minutes, okay? Remember, we can also write that like this: 20 water for 5 minutes. If I wanted to put that on my double number line here, okay, my number line would need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, right? I have 5 minutes. That is equal to 20 gallons, right? Because we have 20 gallons for 5 minutes. If I wanted to find how much water I use in 1 minute, so my rate of gallons per water per 1 minute, I would need to do 1, okay, and I'm looking for the water. How do I get from 5 to 1? I divide, right? 5 divided by 5 equals 1. If I divide the bottom of my ratio, I need to divide the top of my ratio, okay? 20 divided by 5 is 4. So it uses 4 gallons of water every single minute. So on my number line, I would have 1 minute, and that would be equal to 4 gallons, okay? So I now know how much shower head 1 uses for 5 minutes. I also know how much shower head 1 uses for 1 minute. Okay, we're going to do this for all of our shower heads. It says the second shower head model uses 25 gallons of water for every 10 minutes. So we have 25 gallons of water for 10 minutes or time, okay? If I wanted to do that, I would put that on my number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, okay? 10 minutes, and that is equal to my 25 gallons, okay? If I wanted to know how many gallons I use for 1 minute on this shower head, I would need to go from 10 to 1. I'm dividing 10 divided by 10 equals 1, right? If I divide the bottom of my ratio, I need to divide the top of my ratio. 25 divided by 10. If I don't know that, I can work that out. 10 goes into 25 2 times because 10 times 2 is 20. When I subtract 25 minus 20, I have 5 left over. Since I still have a remainder here, I'm going to add a decimal behind my whole number, and I'm going to add a 0. I'm going to drop down that 0. I have 50. 10 goes into 50 5 times, right? Because 10 times 5 is 50. 50 minus 50 is going to be 0, okay? I have no remainder anymore, so I'm all done. So 2.5. 25 divided by 10 is 2.5. So in 1 minute, this shower head is only using 2.5 gallons. So if I come over here and I put that, I have 1 minute. I have 2.5 gallons of water. If I come down here to my third shower head, my third shower head uses 8 gallons of water for every 5 minutes, okay? So we have 8 gallons of water for 5 minutes. I want you to put that on your double number line, and I want you to find what that would equal if I wanted to find how many gallons of water it uses for 1 minute, okay? If you have to divide, work it out to the side. Set a timer for 3 minutes to plot on your number line and solve how many gallons of water it uses in 1 minute. Okay, so you should have plotted on your number line and you should have solved for 1 minute. On my number line, I should have had 5 minutes is equal to 8 gallons. When I solve this, I should have done 5 divided by 5 equals 1. So I should have done 8 divided by 5. I don't know 8 divided by 5, so I'm going to work it out over here. 5 goes into 8 one time. 8 minus 5 is 3. I'm going to add a decimal since I still have a remainder and drop down my 0. 5 goes into 36 times because 5 times 6 is 30 and 30 minus 30 is 0. So you should have gotten 1.6 gallons of water. On your double number line, you should have had 1 minute is equal to 1.6 gallons of water. Okay, check your work. Hopefully you have something similar. If not, you can pause this and double check what you did. Number 1 says, which of the 3 shower heads use the least amount of water per minute? So if I'm looking at my water usage per minute, I have 4 gallons of water for 1 minute. I have 2.5 gallons of water for 1 minute. And I have 1.6 gallons for 1 minute. Which one used the least? Which one do you think used the least water per minute? It would have been this one, right? It would have been your third shower head. So our third shower head, because it only uses 1.6 gallons. That is less than 2.5, and 1.6 is less than 4. So this uses the least amount of water per minute. Make sure that you have all of these notes down as well. Okay, on page 313 and 314, this is your assignment for this topic. It will be due at the end of this class period, okay? You need to turn it in before you leave today. On page 313 and 314, it is a front and back. You are going to tear it out. Tear it out and write your name. Write it somewhere on the top, okay? Write your name. On numbers 1 and 2, or A and B, it gives you a graph and it gives you a scenario. It's going to show you your graph and it's going to ask you a question about it. So A says, Kayla is driving to the mountains for a summer camping trip. She's traveling at a constant rate of 45 miles per hour. The graph shows the ratio, time, and distance. How far is Kayla traveling after 4 hours? Okay, so she did 45 miles for 1 hour. Okay, so right here, I have 1 hour and I have 45 miles. They plotted that point for me right there. It's asking how far has Kayla traveled after 4 hours. So if I go here to 4 hours, I have this point. How many miles is that right there? That is your answer. How many miles is that? Write it down. For B, you're doing the same thing. It gives you a graph and a scenario. You need to answer the question, okay? How many calories did Diego burn in 30 minutes? Answer the question there. Number 2 says, a recipe calls for 2 eggs for every 5 cups of milk. When making the recipe, how many eggs should a person use when they use 20 cups of milk? Draw a double number line. It says to draw a double number line. You can do this different ways, okay? So if you don't like the double number line, I'm not going to make you do it. There are different ways to do this. But he uses 2 eggs for every 5 cups of milk. So if this is my milk and this is my eggs, if that was my scenario, I would have 2 eggs for 5 cups of milk. Okay, so this would be 5 and this would be 2. If I'm going 2 eggs equal 5 cups of milk, I need to know how many eggs a person would use for 20 cups of milk. So I'm going to set up my 20 milk here. Okay, you can solve it like this, looking for your number of eggs, or you can put it on your double number line. So I would have 5, this would be 10, and this would be 20. You need to find how many eggs is equal to 20 cups of milk. For number 3, you are just filling in the table. We did this the other day where you work through your ratios. This is like the assignment we did last week where you're filling in your table, okay? For the prepare, we did this as our warm-up. So this was already filled out. This should have been your warm-up, okay? This whole page should be completed before you leave class today. You need to write your name on it and turn it into your class basket. The rest of class time you are using to complete the assignment we just talked about. Okay, the assignment, you tear it out, you're going to turn it in. The one we just went over. The one we just went over on this side. Okay, use the rest of class time to finish this assignment. If you finish this assignment, then you can complete your graph assignment from Monday. Not everybody has turned that in yet. If you have not turned it in, finish it now and turn it in today. It was due today. Today is Wednesday. It says check wall for absent work. If you were recently absent, you have absent work on the wall over there. You need to pick it up. You need to turn it in as soon as you can. If you finish everything, I have this early finishers box on the front table. It has the find the item, or I have dot to dots. You can color them, fill them out. They're different. Find one you like. Work on it quietly. You may not listen to music. Find something to do quietly until class is over. Okay? Have a great day.